Hey guys, Tony here and welcome back to another room tour. This one is from Philadelphia in the United States and it belongs to a friend of my channel called Andre, who is also known as The Formal Review, but I'll cover off a little bit more about that later. But in my series of home theater tours, I do cover off some high-end rooms, but I also like to cover some budget and DIY rooms. A lot of people out there either can't afford to spend a lot of money on their dedicated room, and also, like in Andre's case, he is renting, so he's unable to modify the structure. In Andre's own words, the aim was to be ballin' on a budget. And even though I'm Australian, I know what that means. I know it's a reference to NFL footballers and their lifestyle. So, ballin' on a budget, that's the theme for this home theater tour, and it's coming right up in the video. Andre's early childhood memories are around having a basement when he was young, and it wasn't until quite recently when he moved into a rented place that had a basement that he was able to start fulfilling the lifelong dream that he's had of building out a dedicated home theater space. Being that the place is rented, he couldn't really modify it, so he couldn't put up sheetrock or drill into any of the walls, so he had to work with what he had, and that meant trying to create a space that suited his personality, his style, and his taste. And he could do a lot of that through decorating the room to achieve the look he was going for. Andre has spent the last 2.5 years buying all of the gear to get it to where it is now, and all up he's only spent around $2,100. So there you go, it shows that you can get a space that you can be really happy with and do it on a budget. One of the main things that make this room unique is all of the pop art, sporting and movie memorabilia that he has on his custom shelving around the room. The other main draw card to this theater is his movie collection. He has over 700 movies that he is slowly upgrading to 4K. The width is about 8 feet, the height is 7 feet, and the length is about 10 feet. And Andre has made it a place for him to express his love of movies, posters, sports, and to house his ever-growing movie collection. Let's take a look around the room. He basically started from nothing, as the basement was completely unfinished and unfurnished when he started. Starting from scratch may have been a lot of work, and even though it's not customized, he was able to put together everything as he wanted. Moving on to the gear now, we look at the speaker setup, which is a 5.3.2 setup. Like my own original home theater setup, we have bookshelf speakers for the front, left and right. They are Dayton Audio B452 Air, which are a 4.5-inch two-way bookshelf speaker pair with AMT tweeters. We also have a Dayton Audio C452 Air, which is a dual 4.5-inch two-way center channel speaker. The surround sound speakers are the Mica Covo S compact two-way bookshelf speakers, which round out the ear-level speakers in the setup. For Atmos, we have the Sony SS CSC Dolby Atmos enabled speakers, which again have been used because the house is rented. Andre can't drill into the shell and put in ceiling speakers in. This is a great compromise when you can't do that, which is something I generally encourage in all of my videos. So for the subwoofers, we start with the Cyber Acoustics CA3602. Initially, this was the only thing that Andre had from an old computer from college. This is obviously not a home theater subwoofer, so Andre upgraded to the Acoustic Audio PSW8. This subwoofer was reviewed as one of the cheapest yet most powerful subwoofers under $100. Andre soon found for sale a Yamaha YST SW015, which has been an amazing upgrade to this setup. Andre tells me it shakes the house, for better or worse. As you can see, there are opportunities everywhere if you want to achieve something that will fit your budget, so you just need to keep your eyes open and be ready to strike when the time comes. For the projector, we have the BenQ HT3550. The DLP is a pixel shifting, so it's not a native 4K. However, the pixel shifting tech delivers a full 4K image to the screen in the correct time frame, which is 1/160th of a second. For $1,500, it delivered many of the benefits of a high-end 4K projector at the third of a cost. For the screen, he uses a 92-inch Elite screen with 16:9 aspect ratio. It has Max White 2 front projection material with a 1:1 gain. The main reason he got this was the 180-degree wide viewing angle and its ISF certification for accurate color reproduction. We have the Denon S730H, which is a 7.2 channel receiver capable of 4K and Dolby Atmos. Although it does have some incidental scratches from his most recent move, it does the job quite nicely. Everything is controlled through the Harmony Elite and the Google Home, and Andre especially likes using the voice commands to control things like his lighting and pausing the movie if he needs to go for a mid-movie bathroom break. For lighting, Andre has a mix of a few different ecosystems, with the Philips HUE light strips and a sync box. This allows for bias lighting to help match the lights of the LED strips with what is going on the screen. There is also some GOVEE sun lights via bulbs and plugs for stair lights and couch lights. Andre has also draped some GOVEE light strips for the bar and floor lights, although has not stuck them down as he wants to be able to reuse them again when the time comes for him to move into his own place. So Andre built his own bar to accompany his basement theatre, and around the bar he has his favourite team memorabilia, jerseys and stickers. He needed more sitting room, so he constructed a fairly easy DIY bar from plans that he found online. He even added a bottle opener to the bar for simplicity and easy cleanup of bottle caps. Andre also has a vast movie collection of over 770 movies, with 137 DVDs, 604 Blu-rays and 26 4K UHD. Andre is planning to expand his 4K library if and when good deals become available. To hold his movies, he even built the shelving units. He did some research online and found a few instructions on how to build his own units for a fraction of the cost. He used two 6-foot 1x4s for the frame and 8 50-inch 1x3s for the shelving. This allowed him to not only build the 2 units he needed now, but also in the future he can build more units to match. There is also a collection of memorabilia around the room, as well as posters which allow Andre to express his passion for movies, comic books and sports. This brings me to the next section of the video, which is upgrades. While Andre does plan to upgrade his gear over time, he is really happy with his current setup and doesn't feel the need to change anything right now, other than potentially adding more 4K to his collection, as well as adding some Philips HUE table lamps to add to the sync box. And he's also planning on getting the Xbox Series X. So guys, that concludes the tour. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below, as well as smashing that like button for me and showing Andre some love for his room. If you have a budget home theater, why not tell us about it in the comments section down below. The key thing to note about this space is that Andre really worked within the constraints of his situation, which also included his budget. He wanted to be able to get a dedicated space that he could enjoy movies, TV, gaming, and sports, but didn't have the mindset of, if I can't go all out and get the most expensive things, it's not worth doing. So he worked within his means and he was able to produce a room that he can be really proud of. If you want to know more about Andre and the former review and his passion for movies, you can check out his link tree. I have got links in the description down below where you can check out his podcast. It's really entertaining and I'm sure you'll love it. If you enjoy content around home theater, make sure you subscribe to the channel. But that about wraps it up for this one, guys. You'll catch me in the next one. Bye for now.